Hey guys, so it's the first ad break for my self-harm nightmare, and you might know that I'm doing a lot for this program at the minute. I'm following the hashtag on Twitter, reading everyone's tweets. I'm blogging while it's on, and I'm gonna do these vlogs in the breaks. So yeah, my first thoughts. It was exactly what I imagined it would be, to be honest, about the skinniness and stuff, and the hip bones and the thigh gap stuff. That's the most common self-harm promotion on the internet, and it's like they're picking on something, and it's like its easiest fault. Do you know, like, if they wanted to go and look for promotion of other self-harming behaviours, it'd be harder to find. And so it's like they've picked this, which is a completely easy. I mean, you put Proana in Google and you'll get a billion results. So yeah, they've gone to the easiest criticism, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, some of the tweets since the start of the program, there's been some interesting things being said. Holly B. Wilson said that being bipolar the program was such an atrocity. She's hoping that this program will help fight stigma instead of creating it. Few people were a bit worried it was going to be triggering, and sort of recommending Samaritans and things if you do begin to struggle from this, if it's triggering or something. Lucy has said, maybe my self-harm nightmare will finally shed some light on why the fuck there are so many internet accounts that encourage it. A lot of girls have said that the girls on the program are really pretty, and it's sad to see that they hate their bodies so much, basically. James says, Tumblr causes self-harm as much as guns cause murders, which I thought was quite interesting, like thought-provoking. Becky Alice said the program might be triggering for some, but it might also open the eyes of others to the reality of what some people are going through. Someone else has just said, how, you know, you should treat you never know what anyone's going through, basically. You don't know what anyone else is battling, so treat people with care, I guess. And a lot of the things the girls were saying, how they felt about their weight and their body and stuff, you know, it's all stuff that I've heard before and that's been on the telly before. I just feel like they need to be doing something different to actually shock people and pay attention. And it's back on, so I'll see you guys in like 15 minutes. Hey guys, so it's the second ad break. I'm actually like really happy, and I know this sounds so bad because of what we're watching, and okay, I'm gonna get to that in like 1 second, but I've just had a tweet from like a trending UK organisation, and basically the first mention of this programme was on my timeline, and it's now trending in the UK. Pretty impressed, pretty emotional about that, which is really weird, but yeah, because no one was really talking about it, and I thought, has anyone even heard it's coming on? So yeah. So yeah, the second part has just been shown. I don't know. It was a bit deeper, I think, because it sort of went more personal in the girls' actual like personal stories. and was about sort of the effects it had on them. I am having a bit of difficulty keeping up because I haven't memorised the names yet of the girls. So, and they keep sort of like interviewing a girl and then they'll go to a family member and it's not that girl's family member, it's another one's. So I'm struggling with that a bit. And to try, for my blog, to try and put them like everything that's gone on with this girl. And then like another parent's commented somewhere, so I'm trying to get the hang of that. So interesting tweets. Let's see if I can show you. Let's see what I've retweeted. Kevin Baker, you should never judge anyone. You never know what battle that person is facing. Melissa, pro-anorexia websites make me sick. So disgusting how people can encourage something so utterly devastating. Claire, I am sorry, but I just don't see how montages of graphic self-images and emaciated bodies help to spread awareness. Sophie's asked why the programme's on at 11 o'clock when people need to see things like this. So many people are going to be missing out because it's on so late, and it's like the middle of the week, so people have got school and work the next day. I'm not sure how to pronounce this girl's name, but she says showing images on pro-ana websites on a documentary about pro-ana has the same effect as the websites. Good point. There has been a few sort of negative, sarcastic, horrible things, and it seems to come from one account as well. So I'm not even giving them the time of day, I think. Just, it's not the right attitude. But it is interesting to see people's like different views, and some people sort of feeling triggered. And Shaz has said basically she feels for these girls for like being so honest, and it's really honourable how honest they've been and frank like to the public. And it's back on, so I'll see you guys in the third ad break. Oh my goodness guys, I'm getting really bad at trying to keep up. I think I've set myself a bit of a challenge. So yeah, the third part was what I thought would come at some point, about a girl who actually ended up committing suicide. And it was horrible because her name was Chelsea, and Chelsea's like my best friend. Well, the name was... so I'll just see what I've been retweeting for you. Grace said that she totally gets the voices thing. One of the girls made a comment about how the voices are quite constant about like not eating and stuff and not being good enough. Samantha said the internet has a lot to answer for. Emma said if she wasn't familiar with all of this, she would have learned a dangerous bag of tricks, basically, which is true. Like, I know all of these tips and stuff, so it's a good job, because if you don't, it's giving you all the tips really, and it's meant to be doing the opposite. Grace said the whole reason for self-harm is self-hate. You match the outside to how you feel on the inside. Grace said, also Thinspo isn't always the reason for self-harm. What about abuse, neglect, depression, rape, other health issues? The effect social media has on self-harm and eating disorders is really concerning. And then I think, yeah, so I'm going to quickly try and catch up with all the tweets. And I'll catch you guys in the next ad break. Oh guys, that was horrible. I just nearly cried. That yeah, it ended with basically the dad of the girl that hung herself. He was sitting in her bedroom and noticed that she'd wrote "help me" on the wardrobe door, and they've kept it there. And then it just put at the end of the programme, it said it was in memory of that girl, so that was quite sad. I have 185 tweets to go through, so I'm trying. And maybe when I've caught up, I'll just quickly read out some more tweets on here, and then I'll try and get the vlogs up as soon as possible. I'll probably stay up and get them all done tonight. So I'll read out some more tweets in a bit. Okay guys, so this is going to be like the last little clip for this vlog. I've sort of caught up on all of the hashtag my self-harm nightmare. I have stopped following it now because I don't know, I feel like the programme's finished. I've read up to date on them all. There's a lot of mixed views. A lot of people thinking the programme was too triggering for any good to have come from it. And they've got a good point, to be honest. I don't have like a definite view on it. I wouldn't say it was amazing, and I wouldn't say it was a failure. I see everyone's points on it though, that, you know, and as well, that point is that these pictures, these pro-Ana pictures, have caused these girls to have eating disorders, and then they film the girls looking at these pictures. That baffled me. Like, how? I don't understand. I mean, I know that it's like good telly and stuff, and when I have my photographs taken for the front page of the newspaper, and he was like asking me to do stupid stuff, and he was like, oh, can you hold a cup in your kitchen? And the cup was empty, and I was just like, what am I doing? Or can you pull your hood up a bit like that? And I was just like, and then the one you like look off into the distance, all troubled. But if he'd said to me, go on the website of the place where your trauma took place, no, I wouldn't. So I don't understand. If these pictures have such a big effect, then surely those girls don't want to see them ever again. And especially when one of them admits that she's like not fully recovered and that things are beginning to get a hold of her again. So yeah, I found that strange. Apparently it's come out on the Twitter that, because a lot of people have been complaining about the title of the programme, apparently the original title was Self-Harm and the Net, and it was changed. Jess has tweeted saying that instead of the usual blurb about like if you've been affected by this programme, they should have actually done steps towards recovery instead of just doing that. A lot of people thought the end was heartbreaking, like I said before, the help me on the door. Alexander says, how are these websites so easily accessible to teenage girls? I'm baffled by it. Mish said none of these were exposed to that information. They went looking for it, which is like what I said right at the beginning of the vlog. You know, you'll find it if you're looking for it. Yeah, there was a lot of rest in pieces for the Chelsea who had ended up committing suicide. Chloe said self-harmers need to speak up and get help from the NHS, and the NHS need to get their asses into gear and realise it's serious. Adam said, why do Channel 4 keep putting important documentaries on so late? And yeah, there's a lot of admiration for the girls and the families in telling their stories. There's a lot of comments as well on sort of self-harm and why people do it, because obviously, you know, no programme can cover all the reasons. and one of the girls did say in this program that, you know, everyone does it for different reasons. So you don't measure how much someone's struggling by how deep the cut is or how many stitches it needs, because not everyone cuts for that reason. Like to see that to have stitches, or for it to be deep, or Sarah said, I've got so much time for people who stand up and talk about personal problems. Luce said, not all eating disorders are purely about food and weight. Deep psychological issues manifest themselves physically. So yeah, if you want to read all of the tweets that I've like retweeted, because I haven't read them all out, if you go and follow me on Twitter, it's Ames_Wilson. And yeah, I'll put the link like down below for my Twitter. And if you've got any thoughts on the programme, just leave it below in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you guys for a happier occasion. Good night.